I could tell you a whimsical tale that's probably very inaccurate. The Sensible Sociopath.
2, 3, 1, go.
Roma, the podcast is here!
It really never gets old.
Sorry about those jokes I said earlier about babies with both sets of genitals.
What does that even mean?
You know, I'm willing to risk my life for this podcast, Roma.
Ugh, that sounds insane.
And I'm also willing to risk your life for this podcast.
There's a difference between like uncomfortable and creepy.
Anyways, that's why I think pedophilia is just a sexuality like any other.
It was kind of traumatizing.
White people are bad and do bad things.
Periods are not just for women.
Take off their underwear and relax with their uncle.
How fast can I eat your ass?
I mean, you know, you look at me and you go, this is an international man.
My whole life is a sham.
And you can't get the white Oreos. That's racist.
I think I counted like 25 racially charged jokes.
White privilege allows me to turn off someone's headlights.
I was just being agreeable.
Roma, when was the last time you were agreeable?
It's been days.
Also, if you try to poop really hard, sometimes you'll come.
You would think that we'd have our shit together.
It's the enema for your face.
Yeah, I was gonna say cleaning's for women.
I'm not a lady, Roma.
Oh, this is so gay.
Let's try to be inclusive, Roma.
What does that even mean?
Real mature, Roma. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 88 of the Sensible Sociopath podcast.
Woohoo!
We're here live on a Friday night.
Hell yeah. Our
guest today, and if you have seen some of the memes Roma's been posting, would be SuperFanDan.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, SuperFanDan.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, so Dan is our biggest fan, I would say, arguably. And he's his knowledge of the show is what word?
Vast.
Vast, yes, that's a good word. Unchallenged, something like that.
Borderline obsessive.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. We
Slightly
love creeps.
creepy. Yeah.
Well, you know, there is a difference between uncomfortable and creepy.
That is true. And yeah, he's already quoted our the show several times, which is pretty awesome. That you've got you've got the quick pull, I guess, of information of lines from the show, which is kind of cool.
It's fun. It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you're going to pay attention to a sociopath, at least they got to be sensible.
Absolutely. You know, you get those valuable little nuggets in life. Like if you poop really hard, sometimes you'll come.
This is true, you know, and that my life is a sham.
Yes. My whole life is a sham. Yes. So we've talked about you guys in the past because you married Sarah.
Yes, I did.
And I got some cannoli out of the deal, which was pretty great.
Yes, you did.
Because I believe Roma was going to bring me some lasagna, and then you insisted I take some. She'd take some cannoli for me.
I'm pretty sure it's exactly how that happened.
Is it?
I don't know.
I think so. I think that's what you said.
Okay.
And I had never had cannoli before.
Oh, really?
No.
Interesting.
I guess I was just ignorant of how delicious cannoli could be.
Well, you know, you got to leave the gun and take the cannoli.
Exactly. And that's it. Is it's been in pop culture forever. And I had no idea. The Godfather.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yes. Are you Italian?
No.
Is Sarah Italian?
I don't believe.
No,
Are
I
you
don't think
culturally
so.
appropriating?
Yeah, sure. You know, we can identify as Italian.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You can identify. Oh, so Roma, I usually identify as Irish because of the oppression.
Okay.
But I'm also Polish and Ukrainian, and it turns out that social justice warriors have now said that Slavs are people of color.
Oh.
So I'm a BIPOC.
Hell yeah.
What color do you identify as?
I guess it'd be some like the color of a beet
No, yeah.
because of the Polishness.
Yeah.
You have to eat beets.
I guess so.
Or
That makes
cabbage.
sense.
Yeah. Radishes,
Cabbage.
maybe?
Radishes, yeah. It'd be a nice hearty winter fruit
Yeah, there you
or
go.
vegetable.
There you go.
Casey Locke says hi, Dan. Sarah says hi, Dan. Steve S says hi, all.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everyone, for joining in.
Hello.
I think we were going to have a drink, a celebratory drink.
Please
Sounds
do.
fantastic
We've
to me.
been distilling our own whiskey,
Very, very nice.
the
Yep.
Sensible Sociopath whiskey.
You know,
there's
there's some
It's very high end, so we can
Mhm.
ship you a bottle, but it's going to be a bit spendy.
like $600
Yep.
per bottle.
600. That's it.
Yeah,
What a steal.
it's rich and rare with a it's like a
Sarah's half
$7
Polish.
See? Well, my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm really into this whole cultural appropriation and critical race theory now. I'm a big fan of it. So I used to be sort of anti, and now I'm not. Dan, would you pour a shot for you and Roma?
Absolutely.
And that way,
Steve's watching his waistline.
that's right.
Well, it goes back and forth, so you can watch it do many things, Steve.
It's true.
This is very true.
This one says hanging out in Indiana. It's a good thing we're right next door.
Exactly. We're big Hoosiers fans here.
Take off, you hoser. Wait, no,
All
that's
right.
Canadian. I'm sorry.
To first appearance of SuperFanDan.
Smooth.
That's some good stuff.
I have a delicious
It's got a cow on it.
beverage following up.
I figured of the 2 shot glasses, the delicious cow would belong to Romerica.
The Sturgis one is actually from Steve H., who was in Sturgis.
Oh,
Mhm.
goodness gracious me, oh my.
Yeah, he's part of an anti-motorcycle group.
Definitely have to tour for that one.
They get in a lot of trouble when they go there.
You definitely got to watch your P's and Q's, and that's pikes and, quados.
And they went to Cambodia, which we brought up earlier.
Yeah.
Boy, they like
Sarah says, Dan, you sound a bit muffled. Take the sock out of your mouth.
Ugh, that's
The
terrible.
Sen socks.
Yes, you had some Sen socks made for
Sarah.
Sarah. Yes.
Yeah, she still hasn't worn them.
And,
Are they that special?
she has so many socks. All kinds of socks.
she
Is
a
this
sock?
any better, wife?
Yeah, how's that? Yeah, she has this thing about she'll get new things and she won't use them
Oh, okay.
because she wants to keep them special.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, well, you need to put them on so we can take a picture and post it. And then she said, well, not when my feet look like this. And I
Mhm.
said, you'll be wearing socks. Nobody's going to see your toes.
I mean, unless it's an X-ray picture.
That's true.
Have you seen those?
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
I
She's
don't
got
even
big
get
old,
to see the
she's
x-rays.
got big
Yeah.
old bunions.
Yeah, totally.
She doesn't. She actually has cute feet.
drift and clubbed foot.
She says they are special. We know they're special, but would you just put them on? I had
Mhm.
a special order them and everything.
I can understand that, though, that you have something that you appreciate and you don't want to, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to like.
I think it's a Slavic thing.
Maybe we can convince her to wear them for year 2.
Yeah.
For as soon as you hit 2nd anniversary, we can convince her to
Well, and
put them on.
when we actually have merchandise, I'm sure then people would just be like, oh, we'll buy like 20 of them or whatever.
so.
And then they can wear them every day.
Sarah says yes, please enunciate, and then Margot says we can bury her in them.
There you go.
Yes, we will indeed bury Sarah in her Sen socks.
Hmm. Unless her feet fall off because of frozen feet because she didn't put her socks on.
Ooh,
I mean, think about that.
that's true.
If you're Slavic walking around in a,
I'm going to
Feet feel-
declare now that it is not my fault her feet came off.
well, I mean, as long as you hold on to them until the end,
I
throw them
mean,
in the box.
I would just like to know whether or not they're a good product so I can make more of them, but we're just still waiting on that, I guess.
That's true. You pick the worst person to do product research. Someone that is completely unable to use a product psychologically.
She will get there.
Yeah, it's all right. After years and years of therapy, she'll finally put them on. Maybe we could consider that now. We could
Sarah,
start.
Just wear the socks.
Put on the goddamn socks. That's,
It will save your life.
I should be a mental health professional. What, are you afraid? Eh? So, okay. I was thinking about something earlier. I was having a conversation with someone, and there is I believe there's a cyclical nature to life in general, that the processes that we go through and the trends
Okay.
come back around, bell bottoms, the Janko jeans and all that stuff.
Hippies.
Yeah, the goddamn hippies.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Guess who's here, Dan?
Who's here?
Kyle.
Yay, Kyle. About time, you
Hi, Kyle.
fuzzy penguin.
And he's a penguin. Why?
Uh,
Black and white?
no.
Waddles?
He's
He just
fluffy
looks silly.
and he waddles.
He looks
Okay.
silly in socks. That's
Okay.
all you need to
Orange socks.
know. Yeah.
Walks around in his tuxedo with orange socks.
Yep.
And he has webbed toes.
Okay. And eats fish whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Quite the avid fisherman, I will say that.
Now, Kyle, I'm sorry, but we all know that penguins are also rapists, notoriously. So let's
I don't know
Let's
about
cut that
staying out at your house anymore,
Yeah.
Kyle.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So life is cyclical, right?
Okay.
Right.
So in the 1950s, to get a cup of coffee, you had to go to a diner or you got it at home, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And
They didn't really have
maybe-
coffee shops.
Exactly. Maybe they would fill up your thermos for you. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe you could go to, like, if you were in a construction area or something, there'd be somebody that they'd fill up
Sure.
your thermos.
When you could trust the gas stations back in the day, yeah.
That's probably true.
You wonder? Do you think gas stations had coffee back in the day?
Well, due to all of the construction workers around town who are filling up giant rigs, no.
Yeah. I wonder about that. I wonder if truck stops were really like the first places to like start putting stores, actual convenience stores into like the culture. I don't know.
I can't say either way, but it makes more sense to me
yeah. 'Cause
that
you go
that
there,
is where it would start.
glory hole, coffee, get on the road.
Yeah,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
you gotta
Bathroom.
have you
Yeah.
gotta have a process.
Yeah. Glory hole, bathroom, hit the road.
Right.
Take a dump, glory hole, whatever.
Yeah, you know, whatever your process is.
Everybody's style's a little different. Blumpkin. That'd be where you get
God, I haven't
everything
heard
done
that.
at once.
Yeah, I haven't heard that word in so long.
So,
Okay, back to coffee.
yeah. So back to coffee. Then in the 1980s or so, they came out with a coffee machine. So you put your money into it and it like the little cup drops and then it like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
spatters.
Diarrhea's the coffee
Yeah.
into the cup.
And it wasn't even like the fancy cappuccino type. It was just like whatever it was, brown water
Mhm.
that resembled. It was like Sanka.
Yeah, and movies taught me that those cups were generally playing cards
Oh yes.
that had, like, you had 4 cards around the cup,
hmm
and then the bottom had your last and final card.
Yes.
Terminator 2 told me that even if you get a straight,
hmm
it's not always good for you.
And that was when someone was killed.
But
Which one was that?
that was T-1000.
Yes.
It
Patrick.
was when yes,
What's his name? Robert Patrick.
yes, when he took over the security guard at this insane asylum.
Yes. It was the finger right through the
Right through the
yes,
eyeball.
Yes.
Oh, I think I found one.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
those
didn't
are
know
the
that
ones.
was a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and that was the see what I was thinking was the milk carton and then the knife hand for the stepdad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Yeah. Where he inhabited the body of the stepmom.
Stepmom, yes.
With which, with the way pornography has gone nowadays, that could have gone really wrong.
That could have gone very
He was
wrong.
very trusting.
very,
Yeah.
very trusting. But it was the 90s, you know.
That's true. Times were different. Simpler times. Back
Darker times.
when, Mr. Belding was over Riverside High.
Yeah.
Belvedere? No.
Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
Mr. Belding, Saved by the Bell. I never made that. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, it's true.
Coffee cups.
Coffee. Well, coffee. So, you had your diners, and then you had your coffee machines, and then, kind of in the 90s, you had the Central Perk for Friends,
Right.
and that was that like crazy liberal coffee shop with the crazy art on the walls and stuff.
Home furniture for some reason.
Yeah, homemade pillows.
Yeah.
with like tassels hanging off them.
Before bed bugs were invented, you know.
That's true.
They didn't come out till the 2000s.
They had
Sarah
to throw that
says-
stuff all away.
Bayview,
Bayview, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you.
not
Sarah.
Riverdale.
Yes. Yeah, close enough.
Dan, you should have been on that one.
Yeah. Columbine. Let's see. What was that school? Where all that great stuff happened in the 90s?
Oh, man.
Just kidding, everybody. Jeez. Tough crowd.
Tough crowd indeed.
Yeah. Oh, get over it. So in the 90s, then you had the kind of the kitschy, hipster
Coffee shop.
coffee shops. And then came into the Starbucks sort of era. And now as Starbucks gets closer and closer, I guess, or gets to the point where they're kind of taking over the market, or they have taken over the market, they have it where they actually, I was talking to someone who was a barista, and she was saying that that you can basically burn coffee by over steaming the espresso. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Sarah
thing.
would, in all honesty, be one of the best people to ask about that.
Yeah,
Because she
Yeah, 'cause I
used to
wouldn't know.
be a barista for Starbucks.
exactly. And thank you. And
Oh, yeah. Roma does stuff with
yeah,
coffee,
yeah.
too.
Roma
huh?
likes coffee.
It's fine.
So
I'm now dead.
You're
that was
dead to
good.
me,
You want to
Dan.
go with the wife. Roma's all right, but
Yeah, fair.
yeah. So now what Starbucks has done is taken all of that away, all of that the amount and the length of time
Yeah,
that
it's
you
all
actually
automated.
Yes. So they have just the beans, they they grind it right then and put it in the cup and do the thing. And so basically they're just hitting the buttons and then just, dumping out the stuff and changing out the
So you're telling me I need to tip less because they do less?
they don't do anything.
They literally do nothing.
Yep.
They pour the milk in and stick it under the steamer. They'll put the
They'll
pumps to
froth that.
sweeten it. Yeah.
And
But they don't even froth it. It just
Mhm.
they don't do.
And so
Bastards.
that's where I'm going with this is I'm like, oh, well, pretty soon those people won't have jobs because they'll just have this great little
Conveyor belt
stand.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that you just walk up and get everything you need or whatever you need, and it'll be made fresh right there.
Yep.
Instead of the Sanka coming out of the 80s, they'll just have somebody in a green jacket like the Masters, and he'll just come and dump a bucket of fucking beans in it.
They stand behind the counter to be like, here is the screen. Choose your option.
Absolutely.
I will push the button, and that is my job.
That's almost where it is now. Now they'll take your card, but even then, with COVID, they're probably like, no, we don't want to.
I don't know.
Yeah, can't touch plastic. Got BPA in it.
Only lives on plastic for 36 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So just wait.
Yeah, you just gotta wait.
That's about
Come
how long it
back and
takes to
pick
get a
up
cup
your
of coffee.
card. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, are we just going back to where it's going to be machines that are giving us our coffee, kind of like Japan went with the underwear vending machines? Because you shoot yourself, and then you can buy the used underwear because it's cheaper, I guess.
Well, I'd imagine it would have to be cheaper than
Yeah.
buying regular underwear.
But you can really only find female underwear, which is kind of weird.
I don't think they want to sell men's underwear.
There's less room in the front,
That
so
is
I
very
put them
true.
on backwards.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Where's your? Let's see, granny panties.
Sarah says blasted on sausage.
Blasted on
Oh,
It's
sausage.
an
God.
inside joke between them. I don't even know what it means.
Oh, right. Is that you get blasted on sausage?
No.
I think it's a
alright.
setting. I think it's a microwave setting.
Oh,
it's a Starbucks setting in their microwaves, and one of them was somebody was going to microwave a thing. To the best of my knowledge, she's probably going to berate me because of butchering this story.
mm-hmm.
But they were in a rush, and somebody was asking, what setting do I put it on, and what setting do I put it on, and somebody just screamed in the store, blast it on sausage. So it became a thing, as when you want it done fast and done well, and you want the meat hot, you
Yeah.
blast it on sausage.
That's hilarious.
That would make a great either bumper sticker or tattoo, one of the two.
Yeah. T-shirt, really anything. It's
Blasted on sausage.
Did I tell that well enough?
Yes.
It could be a thing.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good. It's a
Yeah.
good one. So then after this mechanized coffee, then we're just gonna go back to like either diners or the Central Perk.
You think
I think
so?
those are our two options because, because we're gonna take the mechanized approach and then it's going to be humanistic. So we have to like get all the way back to humans and
Right.
like so we can like touch each other and stuff. So maybe we'll have virtual reality coffee, VR. You'll put the helmet on and then you'll just get the mechanical coffee, but it'll look like someone's actually paying
Giving it
attention
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll have a tip jar that actually feels like you're tipping someone.
As long as it feels like
Mhm.
I'm tipping them.
Absolutely. It's
Just the tip.
It's blue pills,
Right.
Sarah says it's a special microwave, convection ovens, and sausage is a hottest, fastest setting.
Gotcha.
Blasted on sausage.
Yeah. Oh man, last night I got blasted on sausage.
It works in many ways.
Yeah. That's great. Gotta love the inside jokes. I think if you get married to someone, you better have some inside jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't, then what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, this is true.
It's not the right person,
Oh yeah. It's like I said to somebody else once. It was, if you can't high five after sex, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, good job. You really got off. Dad's like, I've never said that to her. It was mostly just, yeah. So what's the meanest thing Sarah's ever said to you?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
This is
man.
probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the best idea. I feel like sleeping on my couch all night.
You've got an audience. Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain she's listening right now.
She might be.
I'm pretty certain she
Mhm.
is too. Either that or somebody hacked her account.
No,
Could be true.
no, she hacked her own account. I can tell you that.
Just to listen in.
Just to make sure that she knew the answer to this question.
Mm-hmm. She asked me to ask you.
I don't think you actually have to answer.
I'm gonna have to sit on that one because
Okay.
I have a lot of things to go through
Yeah. It's just the list is endless.
to figure out which one's the worst.
Mhm. You spend most of your time avoiding thinking about it.
Thinking about what?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, Dan, you're a pretty big movie guy.
I am.
Yeah, because you get all the references and,
Yeah.
and then
I'd say
have
about 90% of them.
gotten shot a few over the bow I don't get. And so, how did you come across your movie choices? Was it parents, family? Did they not pay attention to you, or were they cool and paid attention to you?
It was a combination of both.
Yeah.
My dad was really big into movies, so we would go to the movies a
Mhm.
lot. And when we couldn't go, we would, back in the day, in the ancient times,
Mhm.
they had this thing called Blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was also another thing that was their mortal enemies called Hastings.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was the Battle of Hastings
Mm-hmm.
versus Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the bombs came from. And that's why you know about the Battle of Hastings from history.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't end well for either of them.
Okay.
Hastings died of young age,
Okay.
and Blockbuster just disappeared into the ether. But you used to be able to rent movies and video games
Mm-hmm.
as their, that was their source of currency
Mm-hmm.
and trade. So Dad would watch us, and to keep us entertained whilst he was out doing his car dealer thing,
Okay. He was a car thief.
we tried to make sure that, plausible deniability.
He was a male prostitute getting other people's cars.
It was the power of the mustache, I can tell you that.
Make you guys wait in Blockbuster.
But we watched a lot of movies, and we either rented them or we would go and see them in the theater. And I just always been fascinated with movies. So when Dad was around and paid attention, we would all watch movies, and then he'd leave us alone, and we'd end up watching movies like, you know, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
With De Niro?
Oh, yeah. You know, because you better not put that fire on me.
I saw Roma actually has a Cape Fear sweatshirt on right now.
Yeah, it's but it's actually a place in North Carolina.
Yeah, Roma, Cape Fear's a place.
I was just saying. I guess I meant like it's not in reference to the movie.
Well, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't realize that Cape Fear took place in the actual Cape Fear.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you did you watch that movie?
I still haven't watched it.
I
you
recommended
told me
it to Roma, but it's a great one. A lot of good lines come out of that one. So what are some of your favorite movies? What are some of the must-see movies if somebody has to understand you as a person?
I know one.
What's that?
Tombstone.
Yes. Yes. Tombstone was a cornerstone of my childhood because, you know, I'm your Huckleberry. And you can never forget that. And I brought 2 guns, one for each of you. Tombstone is definitely one of them. 300 is another one.
It's a good one.
Also Fight Club. As soon
That's
as
a good one.
300 came out, Fight Club took a second seat.
Yeah. I actually was at a pawn shop today and almost picked up 300.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I should have. Now that I think
a lot of comic book movies have made up my life, but also to throw in there,
Captain Marvel.
Yes, yes, Black Panther, because you know, we have to. Yeah.
BIPOC, yeah.
But you know, Wakanda forever.
Right. Yeah.
And also The King and I.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
What's the plot of The King and I? Sorry, the abridged one.
The abridged version of that is an English teacher is brought to Siam to tutor the king's children. And it's a Broadway
thing, right?
Yes.
It's a musical, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think it is a Broadway, yeah.
She ends up falling in love with the culture and the king, and it's all about getting the rest of the world to not see that the king of Siam is a barbarian and that he is sophisticated. But the one thing that stood out with me the most about that is they would also need forks for the Englishmen when they went to Siam, as opposed to using chopsticks. And Yul Brynner's...
As to not culturally appropriate.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's very sensitive.
Yes.
But, you know, Yul Brynner's king had decided that Englishmen not scientific enough for use of chopsticks.
I see. Okay. And did Yul Brynner wear Asian face?
Yes.
Okay. See, and that's where I sign out.
Well...
I can't,
you know...
support that.
That's fair. That's fair. But... the leading lady did wear English face, so you got to watch out for that too.
Yeah, I guess comes in all shapes and sizes, that bigotry.
And you could probably pick out any Disney cartoon from the 90s because my mother liked us to not watch violence, and the other movies I spoke about other than The King and I were very violent.
Yeah. And
so a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, Lion King was a little bit violent, you know? The nails, the claws, and the hands. Brother! You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I cried in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Mufasa died.
Yeah.
It was a bummer.
Well, the one thing Disney didn't want everyone to know is the brutality and the violence that he overshadowed with all of his music and magic and everything that mostly happened to children. Yeah. And because of that, he had to create lands and worlds to make children feel like even though the world is shitty,
Mhm.
it will be okay.
Yeah.
But not really.
Dumbo's got some pretty bad, you know, or no, it was Pinocchio.
Pinocchio's
Yeah, it
really
was
rough.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And actually, Jordan Peterson has this whole like thing where he goes through kind of the archetypes and things that
Yeah.
are happening within
Pinocchio. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's
it's
very
definitely a
good.
good one. It's a couple hours, isn't it?
His lecture, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
I think it is.
Definitely look it up.
Yeah, pretty much the same length of plot, I would say, as Pinocchio is his lecture about breaking it down.
The funny thing about Pinocchio is that so much stuff happens in that movie and story that Disney is so against putting in their movies today.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking, gambling, underage smoking and gambling and drinking, turning into a donkey, getting swallowed by a whale.
Yeah, they would never
hanging out with a cricket, things you got to watch out for.
Exactly.
And try to not talk to the blue fairy.
Yeah.
Because she might make you a real boy.
Yep, it's true. Italian fathers,
right.
The most horrific things yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of great movies that have influenced us, and some of the great stuff that we get to do is, okay, so John Wayne or Clint Eastwood?
Yes.
All right.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I'm an Eastwood guy because our dad was, and I think his dad was John Wayne, but I think it's kind of just generational.
Generational, yeah.
My dad did never really do either or.
Okay.
So I explored both of those men on my own.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna cut that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The acting.
Wait, let me take it back. So The Outlaw Josie Wales. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay. The Outlaw Josie Wales is this
Good one.
great movie, probably my favorite Clint Eastwood movie. And what happens is he's in the Civil War, comes back, has his like plot of land and everything, and then his wife and his son are killed by some like band of Civil War
bandits.
Bandits. They came out of it, and basically you have these military guys that are no longer military guys, so they go around like pillaging and raping and killing people. So
standard after war stuff. Yes.
So what Josie Wales does is basically just go on a vengeful quest to get revenge.
As well you should.
And becomes an outlaw, and it's called The Outlaw Josie Wales. For that reason, because the people that were in power were the people that came out of the Civil War, basically. So those guys that did all those things wrong then get like to be deputies and marshals and stuff. And so it's actually interesting that they're hunting him while he's hunting them, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool. So, and then there's bounty hunters and stuff, all that. So but what's funny is watching John Wick, which is one of my favorite movies.
It's a great series.
So good.
There's going to be 2 more. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know how Keanu does it.
John Wick 5.
Wow. Okay. I knew 4 was coming out and that they were holding back on it because of the COVID thing, and they weren't going to be able to release it in theaters. But it's amazing how Keanu could stay. I hope he's still performing at the level in which he does. Because if you look at that, he's what, almost 60-ish? I mean, he's getting up there. He's in his 50s. And you look at like Jason Bourne, and by the third one, what's his name?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah, I don't even think he was like 40, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm getting fat and old.
He's doing that. Hugh Jackman is busting out the Wolverine as an ancient guy.
Yeah, with a lot of roids though. So
and you can't really explain Tom Cruise. He's immortal.
That's true. It's the magic of Scientology, and it's
I watched the movie where he died again and again and again, which is the reason why I went into that movie.
Yeah, Groundhog's Day.
Yes. Yeah. No one saw that part. Yeah. Bill Murray blanked him out.
Totally. Yep.
Actually, he made him into the groundhog.
Yeah. Was that Vanilla Sky that he kept dying?
No, that was
Magnolia.
Edge of Tomorrow.
That's the one.
That's the one. I haven't seen it.
So with John, but John Wick, the parallels are just so close, and I think that's one of our like Jordan Peterson or whatever would be an archetype, just that vengeful. I don't know which archetype. I guess the hero would be it.
Anti-hero is more down that road.
Yes, yeah. I'm a big fan of the anti-hero. Got the Punisher skull behind you. And,
Very
you know, or
nice. Yes.
behind both of us, I guess.
All over.
Yeah, but the anti-hero is somehow so much more intriguing, you know, the bad guy that
I'd have to say one of my favorites is Spawn.
Spawn is a good one.
And
That's a good one.
the fact that
John
Todd McFarlane,
Leguizamo. Okay.
the creator of Spawn, the clown
Yes.
was perfect.
Yeah, he was, honestly.
And, Michael Jai White will probably hunt me down for saying this,
Mhm.
but he wasn't tall enough.
Oh.
He was actiony enough, but
Mhm.
Spawn is 6'8".
Okay.
And
That's true. You're a pretty tall guy.
6'2".
6'2". Okay. So
Are you that tall?
Yes.
I have
and
never noticed.
You don't look at me much, Roma, and it's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, thanks.
I always try to avert my eyes.
Mhm.
I'm here for food.
Mhm. And so, yeah, Spawn was one of the early comic book flicks. That was one of the ones that like first kind of like delved into the whole world of, because it was before X-Men. It was before the first Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah, the only other one was Blade, which
Blade,
was
and then
Marvel's,
the Punisher.
one of Marvel's first big movies that they ever did, and
Mhm.
put their name on it.
I don't have body armor, and it doesn't say "Hello, my name is Fuck You" from
yes, Ryan Reynolds, right?
Ryan Reynolds. Yes,
Yeah.
his character had that. And so what's funny is I was looking for that like as a morale patch, and you can only find like one or two of them. So I actually ordered some that looked like a name tag, and you could fill out yourself.
Well, you could always get the tattoo that he had right above the dick. That was the vampiric symbol for him.
Oh, well, let's do that then. Why not?
Field
One
trip.
of those
Yeah, like
at-home
suck this.
tattoos,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, home tattoo guns. I mean, that's really
It doesn't hurt when you're doing it to yourself as much.
that's true.
I don't know about that.
Hmm. Just like fisting.
Right. Right. Because only you can get that angle.
You got to ease into it. You know, I've always said that.
You do say that a lot.
Yep.
So, did you want to bring anything up? Because
What was I bringing up?
I don't know.
Oh.
You were talking about movies. What his favorite movies were.
No, nothing really. I was just making conversation.
I'll bring something up
All right.
because one of the things that we've been talking about the most as far as the movies go, and it's a pretty big trend, is death.
Yep.
And I have, as I like to put it, shook hands with death several times in my life. And
Interesting.
And what Roma had brought this up to me, and I was thinking
what?
every time we have Superfan Dan on, he could tell us one of his near-death experiences, and hopefully you'll have more.
I'm working on it.
Then you
I
can-
had one
Yeah,
last
he
year,
is.
Yeah.
and I think we'll start off with that one.
Okay.
So
We'll work backwards.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that'll work.
Mhm.
So January 29th, it was a foggy day here
Mhm.
in the Valley in 2020.
Mhm.
Rona hadn't hit yet. People still were spreading rumors.
Mhm.
I didn't even know it existed at the time.
Mhm.
We're delivering furniture to Mountain Home Air Force Base.
Okay.
And on the way there,
Canada.
yes, Mountain Home Air Force Base, Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Royal Canadian. Yeah.
Royal
Air Force, RAF.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
There's a road that goes through a bunch of fields, and I'm driving a big truck, and it's got a bunch of lockers in the back, and they're very heavy, like 800 pounds a piece.
Do you
Driving
move those by hand?
Thankfully, we do get pallet jacks to get
Okay.
under them so
Okay.
that we can move them, or a four-wheeler.
Mhm. And some immigrants.
We try to not talk about the
Mhm.
immigrants. They sit in the back, Steve.
Yeah.
And
They're
going
fat ones,
going
800
around
pounds
the
each.
turn at about 8 something in the morning, going the speed limit, road seemed fine for the couple miles I was driving it. It was still foggy here and there. I hit black ice and I correct once and the truck keeps sliding. Correct twice, foot off both the brake and the gas pedal.
Steer into it.
Right. Yes, exactly. And the correction. Yeah.
Like that?
A little bit like that. It drifted 3 times. I did a 180 and rolled the truck 3 times.
Wow.
But I stuck the landing.
Very nice.
All 6 tires. I landed.
Nice.
And was able to walk away. And the funny thing about it, other than it happened, is that I get out of the truck and the guy who was in the truck next to me had already gotten out of his side and started walking away as I'm trying to catch up to him. Dude, are you all right?
Was he in shock, I'm guessing?
Both of us were. He shattered a window with his head.
Okay. Well,
So
I mean, I hope
thankfully,
he paid for that.
well, we were working. So
did they pay for your damages and everything? Your
yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes, they took care of me. Him, on the other hand, after the window.
Yeah. No, why would
I
you do
had
that?
the excuse of black ice. He was just mad.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it ripped the back of the truck open like a freaking bag of popcorn and crushed all of my tools and my partner's tools, broke his drill in half.
You don't think of tools being crushed very easily.
No.
They're generally not made to be crushed.
Oh, yeah. Smashed my brand new toolbox I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Sad day.
After that, my boss showed up. I just looked at him whilst my coworkers being taken away in the ambulance, holding my shoulder because that's what really hurt. And I just looked at him and I'm like, I think I'm going to take the rest of the day off. And he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. And then we went to the hospital.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't say I've ever been in a rollover. I'd imagine it's a bit discombobulating.
Yeah, I've heard stories about things like that where people say that time slows down, or your life flashes before your eyes. No, I just saw the fucking ground go up and down several times and ran into shit in the cab, and it was not pleasant.
Most people don't appreciate that that gravity is the big culprit there, because if you were just able to barrel roll, it would eventually slow down.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, the tires weren't filled with helium. If they were filled with helium, we would have just bounced off the first roll.
Yeah, it would have been like a Hindenburg sort of incident.
That ended well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, I don't think anybody died from that.
Did they?
Only very limited amount of people
I
died.
don't remember.
Surprisingly few. Because, for the fieriness of the whole thing. But it was going down pretty slow, Oh, the humanity. That guy who just keeps talking and talking. Oh, hey. Yeah.
62 survivors.
Yeah.
Total fatalities 36.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
I mean, no one
It's
important.
right in half.
It did have a swastika on it,
No,
so you don't want to,
They blurred that part out with the fire.
Oh, I see. Yes, they were trying to trying to correct their mistake. They're like, "Oh, we didn't know," and
Self-canceling.
Then they burned the place down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're canceling Zeppelins.
Well, I don't see them around anymore.
That's true.
Woke Zeppelin. It's not a good band.
So that was how 2020 started for me.
Yeah. And then, you could have gotten the corona, though, so I'm glad you didn't.
No. Tested 7 times. Did not.
We were talking about that. And it's been since the anal swab, and you requested them, right?
Well, you have to, because it's the most accurate.
Yeah, you went to China and got those requested. So I was telling you guys about a meme that was how to test yourself for corona, and it shows you sticking your finger up your butt and then sniffing it, and if no smell, corona, Smells like shit, no corona. I'm like, it's
Makes
such a
perfect
brilliant,
sense.
yeah.
It's logical.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's super good. Those people that make memes, you got to respect them.
Oh, for sure.
So many good ones out there. It's almost impossible. Like, what did we do before memes?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess the first ones were early on in the internet days, but they, I don't know. There's just been so many different
I think
developments
it
in the meme.
started with email.
Yeah, probably the chain letter sort of thing where
Yeah.
you would email blast everybody
Hmm.
that you knew with the funny stuff, cat
Yeah.
memes or whatever.
Funny stories and yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Far Side Comics.
yes. Yeah, maybe comics were the first memes. Maybe. But Richard Dawkins, he's the one that came up with the term. He's I think a sociologist or some sort of social scientist, and he was talking about how memes are just an idea that catches on and people, people love and share with everybody. And it's, God, I'm so glad it came along.
I agree.
Yeah. Where would we be?
Without memes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Memes. I mean, sometimes that's the highlight of my day.
Yeah. I think it kind of
Like
saved the world.
a really good meme.
Memes and podcasts,
Mhm.
two most important things in the world.
Sarah says that Dan likes to have his brain probed.
It's a really long swab.
So I
Mhm.
actually had that done this weekend and it was not super pleasant. And I feel like she swabbed like extra long. I'm like, dude, you're getting the DNA's on there. Like, how long do you need to swab for?
So
You
did
know.
she leave it in for a couple of seconds and then walk away?
No, but she just kept like twisting it and twisting it and twisting it. I'm like, there's snot on there. I promise. Like, we're good. Like, it's like I got my dog's DNA test done one time and they're like, put it between the teeth and the cheek and like, swirl it around and do all this shit for X amount of time. And like, he wouldn't let me do any of it. So I just kind of like shoved it in there and kind of just like,
His butt?
no, his mouth and just tried to get it like as wet as possible. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. And it totally worked. It totally.
And what's the purpose of getting your dog's DNA checked?
Because I adopted him from the Humane Society and I used to bring him to work with me and people always asked what kind of dog he was. And I didn't know he's a Chihuahua something, but it just got to the point where I was just so curious because people asked every day. And so I got it done and he's part Chihuahua, part Min Pin, part Pomeranian, part Jack Russell Terrier.
Would they have some kind of a shitty dog orgy?
Yeah, I don't know. And then part of it was like unknown origin, but he really looks like a Chihuahua and a Min Pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just pretty much what I would call it.
Yeah, 'cause if you look up pictures of Min Pins, he looks like that, and if you look up pictures of Chihuahuas, he looks like that. So
All right.
Just completely
not the
glad
apple head though, the deer head Chihuahuas. There's a difference.
he doesn't have the bug eyes.
He
that
does
some
not have the bug
Chihuahuas
eyes.
get.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
yeah. Oh, he's a handsome boy.
Looks like a chihuahua on a spider head. Now, the movie
Casey Locke.
Arachnophobia.
Casey Locke says a stinky dog.
Mhm.
Yes, he is a very smelly dog.
I will
got
agree with this.
Terrible, terrible breath.
Yeah.
I do take him to the dentist once a year, and it
Yeah.
is just, he has about a 1 week a year where his breath is not terrible, and the rest of the year, it's just like, it's like this fog of like stink.
Mhm.
And that's the week you can never find him.
Because he's eating his own shit.
I know when he's around for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Roma's blind. Sniffing to try to find. That's
I
funny.
guarantee when he dies, I will miss that smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
because it's,
We'll just keep his carcass.
yeah. I mean, it's probably a different type of rot, but
Yeah. It'll transition. You'll get used to it.
yeah,
And then you could just clean crime scenes.
Yeah, there you go.
there you go.
That seems like a healthy cope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the movie Arachnophobia, speaking of sex with arachnids, with spiders,
Okay.
are you familiar?
Yes.
Okay. So
Jeff Daniels, right?
Jeff Daniels, John Goodman
Right.
was the
Yeah.
exterminator.
God, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid, like
Yeah.
a kid.
That was one of the scary, like,
I don't like
creature
spiders,
movies. Yeah.
so I don't even know if I got through the whole thing.
yeah, I think the plot was basically some kind of crazy spider came in bananas, in a group of bananas, and then somehow got to the, I don't know, they bought the bananas or whatever, and then it got into the barn and had sex with, another spider, mated with another spider, and then
I don't
turned into
like
super
this. I'm not gonna be able to
spiders.
sleep tonight.
Spider orgies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who
Ooh.
loves spiders? Is it your wife?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But
I think one of our fans loves spiders. I think it's Sarah.
I didn't really see too much of arachnophobia. I saw 8-Legged Freaks though.
Okay.
Which was
that was tongue in cheek though, right?
Very.
Kind of like Piranhas 3D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I don't respect that as much. I want you to go all out, I mean, I guess I get it, the Sharknado and that sort of thing.
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really I'm more of an Anaconda guy,
Oh, Anaconda was
Jennifer
so metal.
Lopez, Voight, John Voight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Anaconda cut him with a knife. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that was before it got as big as it did.
Well, that's true.
Casey Lux says spiders on a plane.
It's true. In the baggage there, open your throw up sack and they jump out.
Ugh.
That sounds more like aliens, Steve.
That's probably true. Wrap their thing around your neck.
Sex with your face.
Yeah, I know. They've got a big pecker.
It's
Right
deep
down your throat.
throating at its worst.
I know.
Oh.
You think it tasted all right?
No, I don't know.
And they're probably not warm either.
Probably
So
tastes
No.
like some type of mucus.
yeah.
And as my older brother told me when I was younger, probably mucus and rubber cement.
I mean, at least
I
you
could
get
be
hot.
in,
'Cause
yeah,
it's
I was gonna say,
flammable.
I could be into the rubber cement.
Well, I think they were using a flamethrower.
We
to
should
be
do that on
fair.
our next episode. We should all huff rubber cement and see, and then attempt to do the show,
Yeah.
or like spray paint in a bag or something. We could call it hobo highs.
Does this smell like ether to
I've
you?
got,
Yes, let's kill a bunch of brain cells just for an episode.
I'm
You
digging
would
it.
say that you would risk your life for this podcast.
It's
Steve.
true. I'm really
And
wish.
hers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do think what's the Always Sunny in Philadelphia? You a fan?
No,
I've never
Okay.
watched it.
they're terrible, terrible people.
They are terrible people, but you have to appreciate that. And I think that's one of the things about growing up on the East Coast that I really appreciate is horrific people.
Yes. Yes.
And so it's something that's endearing to me that,
I agree.
somebody is such a shitty person. But Charlie Day, who was also in Horrible Bosses,
Yeah.
he his character just huffs paint and like does it's ridiculous what he is up to, and he invents things, and one of them was kitten mittens because he's like, are you tired of your cat stomping all over the place all night? And so try kitten mittens, and it's and they just live in these squalid, like terrible conditions. And
Oh, I knew they were terrible people when
Yeah.
they didn't tell the grandfather that they took his Nazi uniform.
oh, okay, I don't remember that episode. I think I've watched all 10 seasons.
Charlie was the one who took the Nazi
Oh.
uniform and started wearing it
all
because the girl, I can't remember what her name is.
Dee Dee.
Yes, Dee Dee
Mhm.
was terribly not okay with going into a hospital and seeing old people.
Okay.
And her uncle or grandfather was dying, and it turns out they found out he was a Nazi,
Okay.
and Charlie found it, posed as his nephew or grandson or something, and would visit him,
Uh-huh.
but then he started wearing the Nazi uniform.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, if you find it.
It's one of those shows that the plots are so complex, like I mean they're idiotically complex, but that's just one of the things I appreciate about the show. It's basically they're just doing everything they can to screw people over, screw each other over. Just a great, brilliant show. It's one of my favorites.
Shows about terrible people are very amusing. It's just for some reason that one just
Didn't hit the mark with you.
no,
Yeah.
they didn't hit the mark. Not
Yeah.
for me.
So,
But they did well enough to get at least 10 seasons.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago, and I think it's gone on for a little while longer. I'm not sure though. I'd have to have to double check. But the great thing was is it was on FX, and FX allowed for, some cursing, obviously some pretty, edgy content, which I love that. What was the one that Dennis Leary had? He had
that one
the
was
Firehouse one.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me. I think that was kind of one of the first ones that started doing like pretty edgy stuff and cursing and
then there was Archer.
Oh yeah. Archer's great. And I just love that give us the opportunity even on the more public channels, which I don't really watch TV anymore, but I want to be able to pick the things that I want. I want to, let me pick cursing and lewdness and all of that. Don't censor people that are creators and developers, because then they're not producing the things that that people want to watch. You're stopping them from being able to watch that by limiting, because advertisers still advertised on FX. And I think YouTube's pretty similar. We're not in the partner program yet. Hopefully someday we will be, but
here's to it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We're slow growth. We don't want to get too big.
Not too big, too quick.
That's right. Exactly.
It's a good motto.
Yeah.
for life and the podcast.
I mean, if there's 1 million people watching right now and they want to subscribe, I guess, sure. Why not? Don't all subscribe at the same time. That's the thing.
That might break YouTube.
Sarah says that Always Sunny in Philadelphia taught her that what a bleached butthole was.
And then we brought it up on the show, right?
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, we were tanning buttholes. That's
right.
That was the episode.
Ugh.
Got your legs spread.
That's so bizarre.
In the sun,
people are so weird.
Roma, democracy dies in darkness.
Why would you want a darker butthole?
I mean, it brings out the
maybe
the
so
definition.
It's harder to find.
Yeah, you can see the muscles easier, so you just rub a little oil on it. The veins, like a bodybuilder.
Gross.
Yeah, my butthole. It's like Johnny Atlas or Joe Weirder, Lou Ferrigno. He's the Hulk, the deaf one.
I'm going to take a bathroom break.
All right.
I will be back.
Roma.
It's...
Yes!
You think this stuff smells like a man?
It's about...
It's been a while since Roma took a bathroom break. Oh, hi, everyone. Stalin for America. Let's see. What do I have to talk about? Toothbrush?
Toothbrush, yeah. Silver at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
How do we choose the color of a toothbrush? Is it just a childhood color that we try to bring back from, having to brush our teeth as children, even though we hated it?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it depends on who you live with, because whatever color they have, you've got to pick a different one, right? So
you'd like to think so.
I mean, colors can be binary, masculine and feminine. Relationships can be binary.
Really, Steve?
It's true. It's true. Sometimes she gets out the old peg, wink. But yeah, I think toothbrushes are kind of the same or kind of similar, because I think someone has to be submissive to the other's toothbrush choice. So if they choose a blue toothbrush, despite their gender identity, then the other person has to pick something that's different than that, because you can't have the same toothbrush. Because I feel that's an interesting thing, because like I would brush my teeth with someone else's toothbrush if I was in a relationship with them.
I would not.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to, like, not that I would choose that. But like, let's say, somebody stole your toothbrush or you had a shitty dog breath.
You're spending the night, and you didn't bring your toothbrush, and the next morning you both have morning breath. And God, I would be really weird about that, but I guess I would.
I mean, yeah.
Only once.
Only once?
And then you get a new toothbrush.
That could be it. You know,
If
yeah,
you're
you brush
changing
your
your
teeth.
toothbrush often enough.
Yeah. Which most of us aren't, I don't think.
So Casey Loss wants to know, why is there a toothbrush in the studio?
So I had there was a Christmas sweater contest. And so I went to the store to get all of the, I went to a thrift store and I got a woman's red sweater. And then I got a bunch of crazy crap to put in the, to attach to it. A bunch of like trinkets and stuff. I even got
okay.
I even got like a turkey shirt and cut the turkey out and put it on there.
Yeah, it's good. It's
a
classic.
Yeah, and so I got all these bells around it, and I put a miniature stocking hanging from it, and on the stocking I wrote "fancy," and then I put a toothbrush in it.
Because you get a toothbrush in your stocking. That's just like a standard.
Well, and I'm like, it's just fun it's funny that it says fancy. And, that's just
You
as
didn't
a
get a
toothbrush
toothbrush in your stocking growing up?
I used one, you know. So
They were hand-me-downs, right?
yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, I got it all at the thrift store. No, but yeah. So that's where it came from. Is it actually fell out of my fancy stocking during one of the Christmas episode, and so it ended up in the mug.
So
And I don't know if everyone can appreciate the mug that I handmade, but
I ain't got, what does that say?
I ain't got time to bleat. And it's
That's actually really cool.
and it's
I ain't got time to bleed.
it's Blaine from as a goat from Predator.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, and I made
Yeah,
the jungle.
palm
all the
That's
birds.
great. That looks good.
That's
I didn't know
a
you're
fantastic
that
job.
artistic.
I ain't got time to bleat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
Margot's-
I made my own meme.
Margot says spray that brush with peroxide.
Yeah, probably.
Hand sanitizer.
Ugh.
Or that, yeah. I mean, I could swab my anus with it and then put it in.
Won't get the Rona there.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. So your favorite president?
For the longest time it was Lincoln.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, just a standard.
Mm-hmm.
As he was tall,
Mm-hmm.
beard,
Hat.
hat. Yeah, you cannot forget the hat.
If you could fight someone, living or dead.
Oh yeah, I'd fight Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly.
Good answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The
Yours?
Throwing
it back at you.
I think it would probably, I don't know. Jefferson had a lot. There's been so many good presidents. I kind of like Washington because he didn't even want the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that he was just like so badass that
I think
everybody's like,
Washington's my favorite for sure.
yeah, you have to be the president. He's like, fuck, I can't. I've won 3 wars.
Yeah,
Can
really.
I stop now? You know?
You can stop
Yeah.
to be the president.
Yes, exactly.
What's a president? Well, you're going to be the first one.
Exactly. You figure it out, stupid.
I don't know how to do that. Well, you are the president now.
Yeah.
Have fun,
Yeah.
but don't.
And yeah, and I think I don't know. I liked a lot of the things that Jefferson said.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
Madison was pretty good. I don't know. I don't. All those guys kind of start to blend together.
Mhm.
I would have loved Ben Franklin.
That would have been cool.
He was one of my favorite people. That was basically a Renaissance man. He did everything. He dabbled in everything. They put him on like the board of medicine or something, and he's not even a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Like he was never trained as a doctor, but he just he even invented a spun wire catheter. And so it was a silver catheter, and it was probably about the diameter of my pinky.
Yikes.
And it
He
was
had fat fingers too.
Yeah, because it was goddamn BIPOC. So he his brother had urinary retention, and so he invented it for his brother, and then and then I guess he ended up using it as well. And you know, it just very, very interesting
The things
guy.
you do for family that
Yeah.
drop your pants.
And he loves, yeah, exactly. I made this one for you, and then he makes like some really nice small one for himself.
This one's actually spun silver.
Yeah, it's really nice. You owe me.
We got you the copper one.
So
If
yeah.
it turns green, that's normal.
Yes, exactly. Some nice oxidation on there. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think he's probably my favorite person that should have been president that wasn't.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. It's hard to not, maybe back then it's easier to not judge someone for their stuff, because it's like everybody modern days is easy to, I don't know,
Get in each other's business and find out
slander and-
what all they're doing.
That's true too.
At the drop of a hat,
Yeah.
you can find out what anybody's doing in politics, whether they want you to or not. And I think that's part of the problem,
Yeah.
is we're caring too much about what they're doing outside of their office more than what they're actually doing in their office. But I
Yeah.
could be incredibly wrong about that.
I do think
I don't
that
think you're wrong.
Yeah, I do think that there are the people that put themselves out there, and that's what they're trying to do is stir up, like, you know, their pop
Controversy
culture
oh yeah.
identity,
Yeah.
rather than actually getting shit done and being known for that, because it's so much easier to just be, you know, either controversial or whatever it is, whatever side you're playing to. Obviously, you can only play to really one side at a time.
Some type of figurehead.
Yeah.
When it boils down to it, regardless of how he appeared in the media, our previous president,
Mhm.
you know, the thing that I heard the most about with him, more than what he was actually doing in office,
Mhm.
was vacations and things that he said online.
Yeah.
And, you know, bringing up his past and, you know, like what his kids are doing. But you know, the first thing that I actually heard that he was doing for us as an American people was he got rid of the whole, you're going to be punished if you don't have health care.
Yeah.
If you don't have health insurance,
Yeah.
you're taking a $600 hit that will increase every year
Yeah.
that you don't have it, that Obama put into place.
Yeah.
And he got rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the first things that he did. And that was pretty much it. And then it wasn't until the election came up almost 4 years later
Mhm.
that I started hearing about what he was doing for us
Mhm.
that no one touched on.
Yeah.
And one of his presidential addresses wasn't even broadcast to major networks. I had
Yeah.
to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was 45 minutes of the president coming forth and saying, listen, I want this election to be fair.
Mhm.
I want, you know, if I lost, let me know legally that I lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I didn't lose, let's make that, you know, be known.
Mhm.
Challenge it. I have the right, just as anybody else would have the right, to challenge election results.
Mhm.
That's always something that any American citizen could do.
Mhm.
Is you can challenge the results of any election. You can ask for a recount.
Yeah.
That's within your right as a citizen.
Well, and I think that if you don't do that, that's when things start to look like a dictatorship, and that's when you have people that will act out and lash out and things like that. And so I think it just builds kind of animus as we if we don't address the concerns of you know, half of the country, and definitely didn't get a fair shake in any of the media or anything like that, and which is pretty interesting that, you know, if the numbers were what they were, you know, 74 to 80 or whatever, it's like, God, with 4 years of just horrific coverage,
He still did pretty damn good.
what the hell would have happened if he didn't, if they didn't cover him in such a negative way? Like, what would the American people have actually decided?
Mhm.
Like, on their own, if they just got unbiased media coverage.
Sure.
With the, there was the prison reform, tax cuts, the Abraham Accords, which is the peace in the Middle East stuff, where Middle Eastern countries were actually, recognizing Israel as a country.
And forgive me, but I, throughout those 4 years, did not hear we went to war with anyone.
No.
Oh.
There
What
was some
other president has done that?
In the past 30 years, none. Yeah.
We didn't go
But-
to war with anybody for 4 years.
I know, crazy.
And then he actually got nominated for, I think, 2 or 3 Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Well, at least he got the nomination.
Yes. Yeah. Which doesn't mean much, but,
Well, I
but
mean,
it's
BLM
nice.
did too, so
Yeah, BLM got it. But they only did 2-point-something billion in damage, though.
Yeah,
so let's
totally
just,
peaceful. Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, that's
Bureau of
7%.
Land Management? They got
Yes,
nominated?
exactly.
Oh, man.
I mean, that they probably would. I mean, there's
I got
Not a
out
lot
of
going on.
Wildland firefighting way too long.
yeah. You were a firefighter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did 6 seasons.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you? What do they call those? Smoke jumpers or something?
That was people who paratroop in.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the ones who go from helicopter
Okay.
onto like the front line of the fire.
Okay.
And then there's the hand crews. There's the
Foot crews.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
the hand crews of
Manicure
like
crews.
20 some people.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, people crews. My bad. Because
Persons crews.
if you weren't careful, you could offend one of 50
One of the
or
lesbians.
more
Yeah.
that were actually out there.
Yeah.
There were so many women on the fire line.
Really?
It was crazy.
Really?
Interesting.
Yes. There's
Interesting.
actually a lot of women wildland firefighters out there.
That's
Hmm.
cool. Oh, yeah.
And
Well, I mean, what do they do? Decorate?
Yeah.
well, you
Fluff
know,
pillows.
they antagonize the guy to do a better job.
Yes, I would imagine. Hold on, wait.
Find
Yeah,
it.
damn it. Okay, got it. What do they do? Decorate?
You have offended me.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. So, do you make good money doing that?
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Is it like the more dangerous, the more money you make?
No, it's the more time that you're out, the more money that you make.
Okay, like a prostitute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The longer that you're working,
Mm-hmm.
the more money that you can make.
Mm-hmm.
You don't spend even just a weekend out and make, you make a couple bucks, but
And they feed you really well, I hear.
3 times a day. Yes.
Yeah, and like good food and big amounts and
Oh,
like as
yeah.
much because you
Oh,
burn
yeah.
like thousands
Mad
and thousands
calories
yeah,
every day.
He always came back really buff.
yeah. And so were you? I mean, you were like hiking up.
Oh yeah, hiking up and down ravines.
And these are
working-
places that are not trail blazed.
Well,
like,
you would work on, if you could find one, like wildlife trails.
Mhm.
Like if you could find a deer track
Mhm.
and work down that way,
Sure.
that would be the safest way. But a lot of times, no, you're just going straight down
yeah, which is
into a ravine.
rough. That's like because I've done some stuff where I go out camping and stuff where you go off trail or whatever, and depending on how you're walking and where you're walking, like if the ground's got a grade to it, you're just using those same muscles and totally not using other ones, and it is just horrific. Like you're like, can I walk another way, please? Like backwards or whatever. You're just trying to give yourself a little bit of.
Well, thankfully, you're walking around with a hand tool, which generally has
Okay.
a medium-sized to long handle,
Mhm.
a rake, a shovel. Sometimes they'd make up crazy tools. Like one of them was called the Dragon Slayer.
Oh.
Sounds pretty cool.
They had all kinds of really.
And what is a dragon slayer? What's that do?
It helps clear away brush and get rid of roots
Okay.
while you're trying to make a fire line,
Okay.
which is generally between the size of this mouse pad, if
Mhm.
not to double that size, depending on how much of a break in the fuels that you want to make.
And so really that's all you need to stop a fire is
Well, if it's coming up, if that way you can also start a controlled burn
Mhm.
from the edge of the hand line that you just made, the
Mhm.
fire line, to where the fire actually is. So you burn up to that, and so that way the fire doesn't have any more fuels to get up to where you are, where it'll cross over you and spread into the green.
Interesting. And so at a certain point, so you dig this, trench sort of thing, you clear away all the brush, and then you want to, obviously it's going to move in a certain direction, I'm sure up, and probably depending on the wind. So
Wind was a
you
big
get it so
problem.
it burns all the way up to that, and that's it, right? And
Yeah.
so it doesn't keep going into
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
I have some tales about firefighting I'll have to share with you
Yeah,
another time.
totally.
One of them, that'll be the next one
Yeah, good.
that I go back,
All right.
because that was time number 5.
Yeah. And all that stuff in Australia this past year, or was it this past year or the year before?
It was
They're-
Kind of in between.
2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
They actually, while working on fires, would have people from Australia
Mm-hmm.
come up to
Oh,
our fires,
okay.
and they would
Throw some shrimp on the barbie.
yeah, bust out the Fosters, and
Yeah.
we'd have a party back at camp.
Yeah, that's not a dragon slayer.
Now this is a dragon
Yeah.
slayer.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got a few stories from fighting fire. I started doing that back in 2012 up until about 2015, 2016.
Okay. And what was the best food that they had there? Was it breakfast? Was it because I would be all about the food, if it was me. I mean, and when did you stop smelling like campfire?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man,
How long did that take?
It's just in his freaking skin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the person to ask that question.
You can't smell it at that point.
No,
Because
it
of the
would just-
COVID.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did the finger check.
Yeah.
All the butt
exactly, yeah.
sniffing.
Smells like campfire. Yeah.
I think I have the Rona.
Yeah. And did you guys wear masks? When you were-
Bandanas.
Bandanas. Okay.
Bandanas.
Doesn't seem very efficient.
Mhm.
Well, it blocked the smoke from going directly to your face.
Are they wet?
No, you did not want to have wet
Oh,
clothing
'cause it would
on
get
the
hot,
fire
huh?
because the water would evaporate, and then it would start to dehydrate you,
Really?
Okay.
because the heat from the smoke taking out the water vapor would also start to take out the water vapor that's coming from underneath it.
Really?
So it's like
Interesting.
working in a kitchen. I did that for 18 years.
Okay.
If somebody got too hot and their first instinct is to put something cold and
Yeah.
wet
Mhm.
on them, but the heat from the grill or from the fryers will
Mhm.
actually evaporate that, and your skin is absorbing the water,
Hmm.
and so it'll just start taking the moisture out of your flesh.
And so did you get this information from them in the fire line? Or was this something that they warned you about?
Yes,
Okay.
dehydration was a very big thing.
And they warned you that putting wet stuff on you is the wrong thing to do?
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
Because it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I could see, there being some sort of a scientific basis for it. Now, if you put salt water on you, if that would be a different case than not salted water.
I don't know.
Because
Sarah,
you have chemistry, the chemistry of yeah.
Sarah says he stopped smelling like campfire about a week after he got home, and he'd be coughing up black for about a month.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate.
Really? Do they give you guys health care as fire workers?
No.
No? Okay.
Well,
what if you roll
in,
a truck?
in camp?
Okay.
Yes, if we rolled a truck. Yes, in camp, we had any and all problems they would take care of in camp. They'd have in camp physicians. They would also have a medic tent.
What if
to
he
where,
had? What if he had like a bad tooth or something?
Well, the camp physician would examine it, and if it was too bad, then you would be pulled from the fire to go get that taken care of.
Okay.
But I actually got pretty bad blisters from some new boots one of my years, and they gave me something called moleskin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that was the first time I ever encountered it. And it was a really big, fat, like pad of right here size blister on my
Jesus.
heel.
Okay.
And within 2 days it was gone from using the moleskin.
That's a good mole you skinned.
I'm
very
telling
helpful.
you, they may not be able to see, but
Yeah.
they can
great.
definitely heal your
Great for
wounds.
blisters. Yeah.
I've used the European variety, Volskin.
Volskin.
Voles, yes. They're
Does that take longer, or is it a shorter amount of time?
they're just a little more uppity. They're European, they're just like moles, though.
I don't
for
know
some
how
reason.
PC that is, Steve.
Well, I'm a BIPOC. What do you mean?
That's right. That's
True.
right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you question me?
I'm Whitey, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
apologize.
Cracker.
Thank Christopher Titus for that one.
That's awesome. I love it. We're at the end of the show.
I think we are.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
It
Yeah.
happened fast.
Yeah, that did go pretty fast.
Yeah, but super great having SuperFan Dan
I love it.
on the show.
I appreciate it and look forward to coming back.
Totally, yeah. You're absolutely welcome back. Roma, do you have anything you wanted to plug while we're here?
You can find me on Instagram at the Sensible Sociopath Podcast. I update that a couple times a week and check my messages.
And Roma does some pretty funny. If you haven't seen the SuperFan Dan memes, go on there.
They're
'cause
pretty funny.
They're pretty funny, yeah. We also are on Rumble. We're on BitChute. We're here on YouTube, so you can check us out. We're going to upload the 1080p version of this up, so that'll be coming. We are on 10 audio podcasting platforms, so please listen to us there and like and subscribe and all that. Download
5-star
them, 'cause-
reviews.
Yes, 5-star reviews. And then we also are on Minds, and so you can check out the Sensible Sociopath podcast on there and Gab. And that's probably about it.
Yes.
Oh, and listen for the references to Daniel at the end of the show.
Yeah, like and subscribe, guys.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Mhm.
Best podcast in the world.
The world would not be the same.
I like it.
No wonder my anxiety's so high.
Few people laughed. Few people cried.
Oh, what's in the box?
Most people were silent.
And that was it.
Now I am become death,
Sounds like a bad time.
the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem like a great idea to me.
I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
You didn't tell me any of that. That's crazy.
Well, Rama, when you're a hero, you don't tell everyone until you're on your podcast.
I'm about to hear some shit.
We all need to laugh.
I think just sitting down and, listening to...
The Sensible Sociopath. This is the shit you're supposed to be watching.
Gen X is going to love it. Millennials are going to be like, I'm offended.
You have offended me.
Also, my dog has a giant dick.
Oh my god, that's enormous.
I love it.
It's still a racist dog whistle.
Where you kind of have like a rotating cast of characters.
We're talking baby seals, eagles, wolves.
I'm just glad we're not going to have to eat with racism anymore.
It's worse than the butthole.
We're technically considered propaganda.
It is very contagious.
I think we really need to talk about environmentalism.
Like, are they studying pine cones?
Make yourself a nice stingray omelet. That's how Steve Irwin died. Cholesterol.
It's fucking delicious.
His father had ended up killing his mother and committing suicide.
In that order?
That's diabolical. I like it.
They had an apple gun where you could shoot Bigfoot.
Has she always been retarded?
I mean, she could have had a head injury.
You don't know anything about tartar sauce.
He had picked up a 400-pound statue and was like walking around with it.
Was the statue racist?
I'd like to think so.
It's like how they invented bacon and avocado to make a turkey sandwich tolerable.
I have a fear of fire.
Like a werewolf? Daniel, you've been our greatest viewer. Well, Daniel and Sarah and Katrina. Daniel!